Hey guys, welcome to my cartoon zombie mermaid makeup tutorial. For this look you will need blue, green, pink, purple, white and black face paints. I use the Mehron Pastel palette which has all these colours on apart from the black and white. So to start off with, I mapped out the design using a white face paint and a fine brush. I drew a torn away eye around the eye that I have the contact lens in, and also I wanted to do the whole torn away mouth look. I then went down to my chest and I wanted to do an exposed rib cage, so I drew that out as well. And then to make it a bit more mermaidy, I drew in some octopus tentacles. I also drew out a fish hook in the ribcage area. I also drew out another tentacle, and then I drew out a starfish on the neck, which was inspired by Ellie35 on Instagram. Then added some random patches of where I wanted some exposed flesh to be. And then using this turquoisey blue colour from the Mehron Pastel palette, I coloured in the face and the body, and obviously just left all the areas blank which I wanted to be a different colour. I then filled in the fleshy areas in this bright pink colour. This palette I used also has a dark pink colour, so I used that and went round the edges of all of the exposed flesh areas just to create a bit of depth. I then used white face paint and filled in the rib cage. Also coloured the starfish in white paint. I drew a line around the eye in pale blue and made a jagged line. I also filled in the tentacles in purple. I filled in the eyes in purple, and also I added a greenish tinge around some of the wound areas, and then I started to fill in some black lines to make it look really cartoony, and I used quite a fine brush and just drew in around all of the sections. I then started to add some details, so the bits that are like the flesh that you can see, I drew really fine black lines down them because it creates this like stringy muscle look, which I know that's a bit gross. And then I also added some cartoony lines around the edge to make it look a bit more three-dimensional. And then using a blending brush, I lightly dipped it into some grey face paint and started shading all over the face and body, and here I am shading in the rib cage, and then where I've added the 3D lines, just shading in there to make it look like it's popping out and just to create some dimension to the paint. And then using the same brush and shadow, I went in around the mouth area and shaded that in as well, and also shaded in some cheekbones. Then went into black eyeshadow on a flat brush and started to deepen the shading. I wanted the area around the eye to look like it had been torn away, so I shaded around there and underneath the eye, and then using a white face paint I started to add highlights to everywhere that I'd outlined. And also I added highlights to this area to try and make it look like the brain was exposed. And then to make the torn away skin look three-dimensional, I shaded down both sides of it and then I added a highlight right down the centre. So added highlight around all the edges of the wounds and added some really fine lines of stringy muscleness into them as well. I then decided I wanted to add a reattached arm, so I painted an anchor on my arm and then painted a thick line in the pink and added some stitches, and then I started to fill the teeth in. And to make this a bit easier, I always first draw a line from the corner of the mouth right along where you want the teeth to be, and then I just draw the teeth in and add some highlights and some shadows. And then using a really fine brush and a red eyeshadow, I shaded in between the teeth, and then I also went into a black eyeshadow and shaded as well. I also filled my lips in with red lipstick, and this is Nosferatu by Kat Von D, and I added white highlights to make it look cartoony. And then using black eyeshadow and the really fine brush, I increased the shading around the torn away bit of the face, and then it was finished. So thank you for watching my zombie mermaid cartoon tutorial. It's a bit of a tongue twister. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know, and happy Halloween. Bye.